Dr. Riyad Mansour has also been involved in Palestinian politics and began his career in the Palestinian Diplomatic Service in 1983 at the Permanent Observer Mission of the Palestine Liberation Organization to the United Nations. He was appointed Ambassador and Permanent Observer of Palestine to the UN in 2005, and since 29 November 2012, he has been Ambassador and Permanent Observer to the State of Palestine to the UN. Dr. Mansour is also the non-resident ambassador of the State of Palestine to the Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic.
Dear viewers, we're talking to Dr. Riyad Mansour, Ambassador of State of Palestine to United Nations. We'll like to talk to various types of topics from the 46th Council of the Foreign Ministers of the OIC 2018. First of all, I would like to know that what kind of decision and what kind of proposal have been given to the 45th session of the Council of Foreign Ministers of OIC 2018.
Well, first of all, let me begin by expressing, the gratitude of the Palestinian people and their leadership to the people and government of Bangladesh for organizing, and hosting this ministerial meeting of the Organization of Islamic Conference, and to congratulate Bangladesh for this very successful, well-organized conference in Dhaka. Now, as you know, the Organization of Islamic Conference was established as a result of attacks against Al-Aqsa Mosque, Al-Haram al-Sharif, and it was established in the late 60s to defend Al-Aqsa Mosque, one of the most holy places for the Islamic Ummah. Therefore, the question of Palestine is in the heart of the organization, and the organization always defend the question of Palestine. It stands with the Palestinian people, and it supports advancing their cause and the attainment of the inalienable rights of the Palestinian people, including their right to exercise self-determination, their right to independence and statehood, and the right of the refugees to return in accordance with UN relevant resolutions. In this conference, as in previous conferences, the question of Palestine stands in the heart of the meeting, and resolutions were about to be adopted by the ministers at the end of this meeting soon, defending the right of the Palestinian people, standing with them, strongly criticizing the illegal and provocative new policy of President Trump, in which he recognized Jerusalem as the capital of the State of Israel, and he is about to move illegally the embassy of the United States from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and other resolutions. And also that there will be a resolution adopted supporting the Arab Summit, the summit named after Jerusalem in Tehran, Saudi Arabia, in which it stands with the Palestinian people and their rights and the independence of the State of Palestine and the end of occupation, the independence of the State of Palestine with East Jerusalem as its capital. And also there will be other resolutions to support the refugees, to support UNRWA, which is the UN agency that looks after the Palestinian refugees, and to support this agency financially, because the U.S. government, to try to blackmail and to arm twist the Palestinian people and their leadership, did cut off significant amount of money to this agency, UNRWA, which helps the Palestinian refugees. The U.S. is doing that in order to pressure us to go along with their illegal policy regarding, Jerusalem, and also to prepare us to go along with their so-called the deal of the century, that deal, which it started on the wrong foot with regard to Jerusalem, with regard to the refugees, and our position from it is if it starts this way, then it is unacceptable by us even before seeing what's in it. So these are some of the examples that will be adopted in this conference. In addition, of course, there will be resolutions adopted supporting the cause of the Rohingya refugees and demanding their return to their homes and properties. And we stand with them. That is the position of the OIC. And we stand with Bangladesh for taking, the major responsibility in receiving large number of Rohingya refugees in the vicinity of 1.5 million refugees.
What is the latest stance for Palestinian peoples of the OIC?
I said, the most recent political development is as it relates to the illegal position of the U.S. administration regarding Jerusalem. And the OIC, before that, the League of Arab States, the OIC at the level of the summit in Istanbul, and now at the level of the ministers in Bangladesh, and in many other places, including in the General Assembly of the United Nations, we're all standing behind the position of the Palestinian people and their leadership in rejecting this new illegal policy of the United States. And, we defend Security Council resolutions, particularly Resolution 476 and 478, in which it states that any legal change of the status of Jerusalem is null and void and has no legal validity, and requests states not to move their embassies to Jerusalem, and those that are considering moving their embassies to rescind that and to return their embassies back, to Tel Aviv. This is the position of the OIC with regard to the question of Palestine. In addition to what I said, is supporting, the refugees and supporting UNRWA, which is the agency that looks after the refugees, and encouraging states to give generously to this agency. And many members of the OIC have recently given in a generous way substantial amount of money to substitute for the money that the United States of America denied the refugees for political reasons. And, refugee issues are humanitarian issues and should not be politicized.
What is the latest message for the Palestinian people to the OIC? That means I would like to know that U.S. President a few days ago said that the Palestinian embassy has been situated in the Jerusalem. But most of the OIC members of the OIC country, member states of OIC country denied this proposal, transfer proposal. But what is the latest stance the member state of OIC?
Well, I said that all members of the OIC, with the exception of one African country, which is Togo, rejected the position of President Trump on Jerusalem. And in this meeting, all members of the OIC are unanimous in rejecting this policy concerning Jerusalem. And all member states of the OIC organization reject to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of the State of Israel, and they support the State of Palestine with East Jerusalem as the capital of the State of Palestine. That is the position, and that is the position that will be reflected in the resolutions to be adopted, shortly this afternoon.
Palestine, a humanitarian crisis has been prevailing in the Palestine now. Just how to remove the humanitarian crisis at the moment?
Well, the humanitarian crisis, of the Palestinian people emerged from the Nakba about 70 years ago, when hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees were expelled from their homes, or were put in a situation to run away from danger. And the United Nations, because it created the situation that led to the creation of the State of Israel in one hand and the Nakba for the Palestinian people in the other hand, established an agency. And that agency is UNRWA, that to look after the Palestinian refugees. This agency lives from voluntary contribution. The money is not from the budget of the UN. Therefore, because of the so many crises that we go through over the years, there is always a need for extra money to address these emergencies. And of course, the U.S. administration over the years used to give a substantial amount of money for this agency. This time, after the illegal position of President Trump vis-a-vis Jerusalem, after the 6th of December, then they used money to this agency as a political tool by denying it to the Palestinian refugees, which created a financial crisis and emergencies for the agency, in which many countries from the OIC, such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, just to mention a few, have stepped up to the plate and donated substantial amount of money so that the services to the refugees by these agencies to continue without interruption. We're grateful to them. We're grateful to the OIC for doing that. And we hope that there will be a political just solution to the question of the refugees, to the question of Palestine, so that the refugees will be given the chance to return to their homes and properties as it should be, and therefore to continue living as normal as possible.
At the last position, if you want to bring back the peace, progress and prosperity and stability in your country, you need a support from the world support from the member state of the OIC. Have you got this World Council support?
We are grateful for the support of the OIC countries, and we are very happy that for the next year that Bangladesh will be leading the Council of Ministers. Bangladesh and Palestine are extremely close, and I believe that during the course of this year, which is a very critical year, we can rely on the OIC under the leadership of Bangladesh to navigate through the difficult times and challenges ahead of us, and we will work with them very closely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you.